How many hours of sleep does an adult need per night in order to function properly the next day? According to health experts, at least 7 hours regularly. Otherwise, you may be up against a few health challenges such as getting sick more often and weight gain, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and even depression, among other things. As a person who values sleep, but I'm chronically sleep deprived, the first thing I think about when I read today's story is, how did Jesus survive on such little sleep? In Mark 1:35, we read, "Now in the morning, having risen a long while before daylight, he went out and departed to a solitary place, and there he prayed." Around that time of the year, the sun would typically be out by 5 a.m., and the verse says that it was a long while before daylight, so maybe we're talking about 3 a.m. But we also know that the night before he was up until late, healing the entire town. So how did he do it? How did he survive? It kind of stresses me out just thinking about it. But we know that Jesus had to do it. His survival and his mission depended on the time he spent recharging in prayer. In June 2016, the Canadian Space Agency announced its 4th astronaut recruitment campaign, and 3,772 Canadians applied. Among those applicants was a friend of mine who was in the military and also a medical doctor. For one whole long year, I watched and waited with the family for him and all the other candidates to go through the most grueling physical and mental tests and evaluations that were designed to eliminate candidates because they were only going to choose one, maximum 2 finalists. Just when I thought the limits they had been pushed to were insane, the next set of tests seemed to be even harder. His wife and I used to joke and say, who in their right mind would voluntarily go through these things? The truth is they had to, because becoming an astronaut meant that they would have to be exposed to the most hostile living conditions and survive. They knew that the missions they would be sent on were next to impossible, and everyone was depending on them. Additionally, once they were chosen, they would be sent for additional training with NASA for at least 2 more years, preparing to work in a microgravity environment with complex and highly specialized flight vehicles, equipment, and suits. For example, they would have to spend 10 hours underwater in a swimming pool for every hour they would be walking in space. That's a lot of preparation. That's dedication, and that's commitment to their mission. So it's no wonder when the King of the universe came to Earth on a mission where humanity's eternal destination was at stake, that he would crave prayer like it was his very life, something he needed so much more desperately than sleep, food, or water. Jesus' mission was to show the Father and to save us from eternal damnation. And all we can do in front of so great a sacrifice is to bow down and worship him. And that is our nugget for today. I'll see you tomorrow.